I'm amazed that the critics of the Catholic Church don't seem to be able to read basic documents from the magisterium and properly understand them or accurately represent them. Take a look at the compilation of videos that my friend Alex from Voice of Reason put together that demonstrates this, and after that I'll offer some commentary.
Christ votes are quiet. Christ votes are quiet. And this is when everyone's like, Orthodox Christianity is the way, but at least the Catholics, bro, you gotta shh for a little bit. This would not happen in Islam.
Extremely scandalous decision of Pope Francis, the Roman Catholic Pontiff, giving his priests his permission to bless homosexual unions. That is, two gay men or two lesbian women can now come to a priest and ask that their relationship be blessed. If it's not just an individual blessing for this person or that person, but the relationship itself to be blessed.
Just announced that priests can now bless rainbow people. And personally, I don't care if Christians change their religion and update it more times than the iPhone. However, what I find interesting is that in 2022, he himself said that God cannot bless sin. But now he has changed that policy and he has allowed priests to bless things even if they consider it sinful.
I think coupled with the grave crisis with this present Pope, who is clearly not serving the gospel with all his decisions with regard to the trans movement and homosexuality, all this stuff that he's doing right now, it's obvious to any pious Roman Catholic that this Pope is way off, right? So there's going to be more and more people from Catholicism who are going to say, you know what? My church recognizes Orthodoxy as a church, as having mysteries, as being faithful to the tradition. Why am I here, suffering under this heretical Pope?
Pope Francis's declaration granting priests the right to bless same-sex unions.
There sure has been quite a lot of fake news that's been circulating in the mainstream media lately, but a lot of it has to do with a particular document that was released by the Vatican in the past few days. The mainstream media is going absolutely wild, and here's the big problem, is that nobody in the mainstream media is reporting on this situation correctly. Over and over and over again, everything that I've seen, everyone who's commented on this Vatican document that came out a few days ago called Fiducia Supplicans, they have misrepresented what the document actually says. Let me set the record straight for everyone that has been misled by the mainstream media that we know puts out fake news on the regular. No, the Catholic Church hasn't changed any of its teachings. The Vatican has not changed the 2,000-year-old teaching from the Church that marriage is between one man and one woman. This document that has recently come out from the Vatican, Fiducia Supplicans, hasn't changed anything. The Catholic Church still affirms that marriage is between one man and one woman, and the document itself still affirms that same-sex unions are sinful and cannot be blessed. The Catholic Church and the Vatican still affirm the 2,000-year-old teaching of the Church about moral sexual ethics. Don't listen to how the mainstream media is portraying this. I suggest that you should read the document for yourself. It's short. You can read the whole thing in 20 minutes, and you can decide for yourself if the Catholic Church has changed anything that it's taught for the past 2,000 years. Go and read it. I think you'll be pleasantly surprised. And by the way, I'm going to be releasing an entire full-length YouTube video in which I discuss the document in question, what the Vatican actually said, and I'll talk all about how it's being misrepresented by the media. So all of the questions that you guys have been asking, I'm going to answer in that YouTube video. So go and check it out. Go and subscribe to me on YouTube at Voice of Reason _. Go and check it out. Make sure that you like, share, subscribe, and let's all educate ourselves. And let's get ourselves used to reading primary sources ourselves. I'm going to read the document with you guys. I'll see you there.
First, certainly go and subscribe to my friend Alex, the Voice of Reason. Now let's start with the Muslim convert Sneako, who says that Christ bros are quiet after Fiducia Supplicans was released. I have to sincerely question his honesty, since Catholics in particular were anything but quiet as soon as the new declaration dropped. Also, he says this would not happen in Islam, except there are Muslims who accept homosexuality and even transgenderism. This is no secret, and a simple Google search will yield plenty of results substantiating this claim. Next, we saw that the Eastern Orthodox priest and apologist Father Josiah Trenham bears false witness by saying the Pope has given permission for priests to bless homosexual unions. And he adds it is not a blessing for the persons, but for the relationship. This is despite the fact that the document explicitly rejects this position and says, quote, the church does not have the power to impart blessings on unions of persons of the same sex, end quote. The blessing in question in the document is precisely for persons, not their union. The next clip seems to be by a random Muslim that I don't recognize, but he says Pope Francis changed his view from the 2022 decision. The guy doesn't seem to be able to get the year correctly because he referred to Pope Francis's 2021 dubia response, saying that sin cannot be blessed. What he failed to note was that the new document Fiducia Supplicans explicitly reasserts that 2021 decision. Next was the highly controversial Eastern Orthodox priest Father Peter Heers, who claimed Pope Francis is a heretic, who is off in his promotion of the trans movement and homosexuality. He doesn't seem to be aware that Pope Francis has said gender ideology is, quote, one of the most dangerous ideological colonizations. And Pope Francis has taught against transgenderism in Amor Laetitia. He also fails to note that Pope Francis explicitly says homosexuality is a sin. And he's rejected blessing same-sex unions, even most recently in paragraph 5 of Fiducia Supplicans. I'll also add that the last I checked, Father Peter Heers doesn't appear to have a bishop, so he might want to regularize his own situation with the Orthodox Church before attempting to poach converts from Catholicism to Eastern Orthodoxy. Lastly, the Protestant apologist Gavin Ortlund clearly asserted Pope Francis approved blessing same-sex unions, despite paragraph 5 of Fiducia Supplicans that explicitly says the exact opposite. Again, I'm amazed how the critics of the Catholic Church don't appear to be able to represent the Church fairly. Sadly, at this point, I think one has to either question their reading comprehension skills or suspect their motives. And by the way, I just want to remind you, make sure to hit that like button and especially the subscribe button. Help me grow this channel so I can reach more people with the content that you appreciate and enjoy from Reason and Theology. Are you a Catholic thinking about converting to Eastern Orthodoxy? Or are you a Protestant discerning whether or not to become Catholic or Eastern Orthodox? If so, I have the book just for you. It's called Answering Orthodoxy and engages all of the arguments that Eastern Orthodox use against the Catholic Church. I respond to all of them. I show that they are in error, and in fact, they're inconsistent, because the things that Orthodox are objecting to are in fact found in their own tradition. So the fullness of the faith can only be found in the Catholic Church. Check out the book right now at shop.catholic.com for your copy